Right, 20 October 2025, and today I'm excited to be giving you the morning update for all the trending news that is in our region, SADC, and particularly Zimbabwe and South Africa, and a bit of Botswana and Zambia, my favorite countries. So let's quickly go through what is happening today, and then I'll give you a bit of my opinions. So today we're looking at what is happening after the ZANU-PF Annual National People's Conference, and Kuda Tagwirei is trending. That is because he's got a lot of support among the social media of ZANU. So Tagwirei has got a number of accounts that are campaigning for him, and he is being shown going around campaigning and also praying. So if you look at most of the ZANU-PF platforms, they are showing Tagwirei campaigning in Nyazura. So Nyazura has got 3 constituencies, and the Makoni constituencies, and I've seen at least 10 accounts on social media that have been talking about Tagwirei, showing a video of him walking around and then showing him praying with a group of people. So I don't know if Jennifer is here, because Jennifer is the MP for Makoni West, but you can see that Tagwirei is moving around and getting a lot of visibility within ZANU-PF. So what I believe is going to happen is that Tagwirei is going to try to build his profile. Tagwirei does not have a political profile in ZANU-PF. He is well known in the cities in Harare, but is not known in the rural areas. And Tagwirei does not have a manifesto, so people don't know what he's about. And he's got sort of like a negative image because of being on the sanctions list and being linked with corruption. So there's a lot of work to be done by Tagwirei if he's going to be a presidential candidate in 3 years' time. And because what I believe is Mnangagwa actually doesn't want to go to 2030, and they are just trying to get rid of Chiwenga. So they're going to use all means necessary to uplift the profile of Tagwirei, and this is the beginning to get Tagwirei to go to rural areas and give away some stuff and make donations, and they're hoping that it will be able to go through all the constituencies of the country by the time that we go to the elections. So this is an image building exercise for Kuda Tagwirei, but Tagwirei does not have a positive image or a charismatic nature. So he's not a charismatic person. He mostly uses his money to get attention. So let's see how it's going to go, but that is how it is right now. So that's our headline for this morning. Let's quickly go into other news. And I want to start with Saruwaka. So Saruwaka is being sought by police, and one of the controversial detectives in Zimbabwe, that is Tafadzwa Chidawa of Matrix Investigations, has gone to the police and offered to track down and arrest Saruwaka. So you can see that someone has filmed him here, and he is begging to be allowed to find and arrest Saruwaka. Obviously, he wants to be or to get some benefits from ZANU-PF, and Saruwaka is not happy about it. You can go and check it out on his platforms, and I hope that Saruwaka is back in South Africa. However, in my discussions with Saruwaka, it's clear that eventually all of us will have to be in Zimbabwe. So every person that you see here in South Africa will have to be in Zimbabwe. No one is going to get arrested. There's nothing that they've done. Saruwaka has done nothing that deserves him to be arrested. Then looking at other stories, let me quickly look at what is happening in South Africa. Top trends is Patrice Motsepe coming out and saying that he's not going to contest as a presidential candidate for South Africa. So there were rumors that Patrice Motsepe wants to be president after President Cyril Ramaphosa, but he has told the South Africa National Editors Forum that has got no interest in being a candidate for the presidential elections of South Africa. Then the IFP leader, Velinko Sikhala, has asked for the deportation of all undocumented foreigners or people with no special skills. So if you're a Zimbabwean and in South Africa and you don't have any special skills, he has said that such people should be deported because they're taking up resources. And I want to show you quickly that video, very interesting video here.
Isemi ekuthenini abantu abavela emazweni angaphandle abangenawo ama skills esiwadingayo kumele babuyele emazweni akubo.
Okay, so you can clearly see that the campaign is about immigration. So all the people from other countries who don't have special skills must be deported or must leave. And as I said, we need to get our people back home. There's no reason to be in South Africa. There's nothing for you in South Africa. If you're in Zimbabwe, try to set up that site. There's nothing here. Take it from me. I know a lot about this place. I've been here since 2006. And South Africa is totally changed. It's no longer the South Africa that you know. Today, the IMF is making a report. The debt of South Africa, the national debt or global debt, is going to be 124% of GDP by 2029. The economy has stopped functioning. And not only that, the small businesses are closing. The big businesses are closing and people are piling into shares. Like I always tell you, there's not much taking place this side. So the future is in Zimbabwe. That is where the future is. And then talking of South Africa business, the South African agricultural sector has signed a deal with China for $400 million for hard fruits. So that is fruits like pears and so forth. And in the next 5 years, they're supposed or they expect to trade $400 million worth of fruits. That is after the AGOA. I believe that has not been renewed or the process of negotiation is ongoing. Then let's look at some other stories. Let's go to our newspapers. The H Metro is leading with the story of Harare businesswoman Abigail Makono. She has been awarded $600,000 as part of a divorce settlement. So you can go and check that out in the H Metro newspaper. So her ex-husband and policeman, Charles Nyengerai Makono, was trying to stop the sale of a property where Abigail wanted to recover $600,000 as part of divorce debt. And the court has ruled that she is entitled to sell that property. So you can go and check it out in the H Metro newspaper. And then let's quickly look at the Herald newspaper. So I'm going to jump straight to the Herald newspaper. Herald newspaper is probably one of the biggest newspapers in the country, together with all the other newspapers that are in the Zim papers table. So Zim papers is quite a number of newspapers. I believe that they say and they claim that they've got how many newspapers? 17 newspapers. So let's see what they've got today. So I'm going to be sharing with you the screen. And that is what you get. If you're not in Harare, I know you never see this newspaper. And that's why almost 100,000 people every day come to Zimbabwe to see what we've got because we've got the latest news. So regional unit to collapse sanctions. That is Mnangagwa. Zimbabwe achieves food self-sufficiency and the ZANU-PF emerges stronger after the conference. Then we've got some pictures here. That is Mnangagwa Chiwenga. And then we've got some people sitting here. I don't know who exactly is here, but there are some people over here. And then Mnangagwa takes, that is First Lady and the Women's Ambassador and Parliament, what? Auxiliary Mnangagwa takes this outreach to the women. You see that she did not go there. I don't see her standing here. I see she now has people who do this work. Then let's see if there's anything else interest here. Limpopo Premier meets relatives of bus crash victims. So you can see here that the relatives have arrived, and then obviously I can't read the whole newspaper. You can go and see everything over here. That is in the newspaper. It's huge. The newspaper is very big. We also have the Tigere funds results. So that is Tigere here, and you can go and check out all the information about Tigere. I want us to look at the log or the PSO log or league. It's not here. I'm going to show you the league tomorrow because I don't have it today. However, Highlanders and Dynamos played to a 1-0 draw, and Dynamos is back in the relegation zone. Unfortunately, Dynamos is back in the relegation zone. Then let's look at the Citizen newspaper. The Citizen newspaper is leading with the story of state security out of control, the can of worms opened by Nhlanhla with experts calling for a complete overhaul of South Africa's security and law enforcement agencies. So South Africa is a wild, wild west of corruption, and that is happening because the police are the criminals. So in South Africa, the police are the criminals. That is crazy. Can you believe it? And then let's go to the Chronicle newspaper very quickly. And it says here, same thing, the funeral arms race of Zimbabwe. So funeral companies are now the biggest businesses in Zimbabwe. So Doves, Nyaradzo, I don't know who's this other one, FSG, they are now the biggest companies in Zimbabwe. If you don't have a funeral company, if you don't have a funeral policy, and I know my Mukoma Mo Boys is doing very well here in South Africa. Almost everyone, when they put a funeral, they call me, give me number, Mo Boys, give me. That is what he's doing. He's doing very well over here. He started his company from scratch. That is Mo Boys Munet. Then let's go to the league. Like I said, I'll show you the league here. Let's see if it's here. Right here. We've got the league. And you can see that we've got Scotland at the top. And then right at the bottom, we've got Kwekwe, Yada, Bukita Minerals, and Dynamos. Islanders has got 36 points. They're almost safe now. Because even if Dynamos was to get 3 points, they will still just be right about there. So we've got still a serious situation at Dynamos. But as you know, Dynamos cannot be relegated. It's part of the rules of the league that Dynamos and Highlanders cannot be relegated. They will just increase the number of teams in the league. If Dynamos reaches the relegation zone, they will increase the number of teams. So those two will always be there because they are the most popular teams and they are money spinners. Then let's go to the Sowetan. There is a cleanup taking place in Joburg streets. I will never walk in Joburg streets. Don't do it. If you come to South Africa, don't ever walk in the streets of Joburg. You'll be killed. So don't do it. And I'm not lying here. If you go to the Joburg streets, it's very, very dangerous for you. So, one, don't walk around with your phone. Don't walk from Park Station and say, I'm walking in town. It's not safe for you. And so they're doing a cleanup. It's something else. I've not walked in the streets of Johannesburg for the past 10 years. I've never walked inside the streets of Johannesburg because of the danger. So you can go and walk at Sandton, you can go and walk at Four Ways, you can go and walk at Midrand, Waterfall. Those are the kind of places you walk, but not in the CBD of Johannesburg. Then let's go to other things. I want to quickly look at Zambia. Zambia is like my second home. I like Zambia. It's very nice, especially Lusaka. So let's see what is happening today at Zambia. So I'm going to look at the Zambian newspapers very quickly and see if they've got anything new. All right, so here I see something about disbanding the Oasis team. So I don't know what the horses team is, but you can see it over here. It says, and I'm just loading. And the first page is taking longer. So as it brings the committee on illegality, says its commission was not only in breach of the constitution, but unrepresented to ask President HH to completely withdraw the dead, constantly rejected Bill number 7. So Bill number 7 is a problem. In Zambia, it is so bad. People don't like it. But President Hakainde has appointed a committee to look into it. People believe that Bill number 7 is a problem. Then I want to engage in politics of insults Mudolo. So Mudolo wants to become a front runner in challenging President Hakainde in the 2026 general elections. So Zambia is having presidential elections next year, and it's going to be very, very interesting. Then let's look at Botswana. So let's see if anything has been posted in Botswana. So you can see that elections are going to be hot. This week we're going to start tracking the elections in Tanzania. So I'll start tonight to track the elections in Tanzania. For the next 7 days, I'll be giving you details about Tanzania elections. But it really doesn't make sense because they've banned the opposition from contesting. But we'll look at it, and Tanzania becoming one of the problem countries in SADC. SADC is a mess right now because of poor leadership in the region. So let me quickly look at Botswana and see if there are any new newspapers today. So there's no new newspaper that is published in Botswana. So let's immediately go straight to our people on Facebook, and we're going to start with someone interesting. Let's look at who has posted here. Let's look at Minnie. What has she posted today? So Minnie has posted, and she is verified. Can you believe it? Thank you, the CEO's network, for recognition. So Minnie has been awarded Outstanding Clothing and Fashion Entrepreneur. She's a platinum winner and a record breaker. And that is for a company. What is the name of the company? Here, I'm not seeing the name. Yes, they actually gave it to herself as the CEO, but I don't think they said anything about which company they are giving it for here. So that is Minnie Chiwenga doing very well over here. And then let's look at what else she posted. I think that is what we covered yesterday. I'm going to now go straight to my next favorite person, Madam Boss. She was with the Kuda Tima yesterday. Guys, Kuda Tima, one of the first guys on Gambakwe, and he's doing so well. They did go to Madam Boss to some rural areas where they were looking at some houses. So go check out a video that was done by Kuda Tima and Madam Boss on YouTube. Very nice. I watched that yesterday. And then Baba Harare Masquera say, I don't know what this is about, but I like her dresses. Sapatina. 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 What is Sapatina? Sapatina. Whatever it is. Sapatina. I don't know it. Tambangu. Oh man, I know it's Sapatina. And then let's go to, who else are we missing? Shido Sanyatwe. Shido Sanyatwe. She's campaigning for her husband very vigorously. Let's see what she did today. Nothing. And then I want to go to X and look at, okay, before I go to X, let me look at my favorite presidents. President Hakainde over here, very interesting. And may God's love continue to fill your home with peace and joy this weekend. This president is amazing, the most forgiving president. And amazing. I like President Hakainde. And then let's see President Dumaboko. President Dumaboko has traveled to the UAE. If you guys didn't know, he traveled yesterday. I was watching him. So let's see what he's doing here. I know he's posted something. Let's see if there is anything about it here. Okay, it's not here. Let me show you where it is. You go to BW Presidency. I hope that is new. Oh, I was not looking at some old stuff. So let's see. BW Presidency is another page. So it says here, yes, I'm never wrong about President Dumaboko. President Dumaboko has embarked on a working visit to Oman, UAE, and Switzerland. So you can see him over here. What a beautiful plane. Botswana bought a number of these planes, and President Maboko traveling again. And that is amazing. What a smart president. You see how smart he is? Look at his suit. That is amazing. And we'll see what comes out of that trip to UAE. And then obviously you can go, I've shown you the new page. That is BW Presidents of Botswana. And then I want to quickly go to x.com, and look at some people there. Let's look at Chamisa. Chamisa is not going to launch anything ever. It won't happen. So let's look at what Chamisa is saying. Today, on this day, 19 October 2021, on Tuesday afternoon in Mutare, a countrywide raw outreach tour, they had plotted to assassinate me, but God is in it. It hasn't been easy. All glory to God. So everything about Chamisa is about I. Nothing about the people. That is crazy. Chamisa, that's crazy. Everything is about I. So if you look at Chamisa, he's going to tell you about what he did, what he thinks, nothing about what to do about the long-suffering people of our country. That is the problem. And that is what he needs to solve. I don't know what his plan is. And Job Sikhala yesterday was at a space. He attended a space. And unfortunately, that space was not recorded, where he talked about being in the same class with his mother. That was very interesting. I hope that I've got a recording of it somewhere. If I do, I'm going to show it to you guys sometime very soon. Let's look at First Lady of Zimbabwe. First Lady Oxley Mnangagwa. She's very interesting. Let's go check it out. What is she saying today? So, in my ongoing efforts to promote accessibility to healthcare, I took Angel of Hope to Mutare. So that is the pictures that you saw in the Herald here. They've taken them from over here. That is First Lady of Zimbabwe. And then she distributed 3,000 hampers. Hampers. What is a hamper? What is in the hamper? Cooking oil, rice. I see some sugar. I don't know what else is in there. Maybe some nice stuff for the raw people over here. How can you distribute 3,000 vouchers to 100 people? Auxiliary Mnangagwa. Anondinakidza chaizo. Then let's go to Sanyatwe himself. Sanyatwe is the only person on Twitter who is in the government that is going to be presidential candidate. What happened to Sanyatwe? I'm not seeing his Twitter here. What happened to, yes, the Honorable Lieutenant General Ambassador A.N. Sanyatwe. When did he last tweet? He last tweeted on the 16th, and then on the 16th again, and then on the 11th. So let's look at these latest tweets by Sanyatwe. Congratulations to our esteemed Chief Director, Dr. Eugenia Chidhakwa, on being named one of the 50 most influential African women in sport. Your visionary leadership, tireless dedication, and passion for excellence continues to elevate Zimbabwe's sporting legacy. So that is Miss Dr. Eugenia Chidhakwa over here. And when did this happen? This happened at the prestigious Sankara Hotel. In which country? Where is Sankara Hotel? I don't know. But you can go check it out. 50 most influential women in sport. She's even better than Kirsty Coventry. She's better than Kirsty Coventry. And then I would like to wish our champion, Simbarashe Hokonya, the very best as he steps into the ring. And that was on the 16th. I don't know what happened yesterday or the day before over here. So go check it out. And as you are aware, yesterday there was supposed to be a match, or what do you call this, a race, or what can I call it when you run around a marathon? Yes, there was supposed to be a marathon at Cape Town, and that was cancelled because of the heavy winds. So let me tell you what happens when I go to the beach during these times at Cape Town. I park my car. I have to drive off, especially when you go to Sea Point, because the wind is so much, like the car is almost being taken off the ground. So that is how bad it is. And it's unfortunate. And then I want to share with you a very important and interesting video. Well, I won't show you the video, I'll show you the picture. She has been featured on Mono Mukundu show. As you know, Mono is one of the most loved persons ever in Zimbabwe. I don't think there's a person who's loved more than Mono. And she is featured Busingube. Go and watch this, one of the most powerful videos I've ever seen. And Busingube, I think she's currently based outside with the husband of the country, but she's in the country at the moment. And she's taken us through the journey of her music. And she even performed. So go check it out on Mono Mukundu podcast. She's amazing. I like it. And then one of the most interesting videos by Uebert Angel, he's saying that he's a Mnangagwa supporter. He's a ZANU-PF supporter. And that is that. So you can go and check out his latest video where he says why he didn't go to the Benny in crusade or conference. He said he didn't go there, but it's the one who gave them the chairs. So go and check out. He says it. He's a Mnangagwa supporter. He's a ZANU-PF supporter. But he's not going to insult the one who is present because of the one who is coming. And he's not going to insult the one who is coming because the one who is present. So what Mnangagwa has done is he's captured all the men of God. So he's gone out and captured all the men of God. And it's said to watch, because Zimbabwe is one of those very politicized countries, even in the religion. When you listen to a pastor, you're not even sure if what you're listening to is the word of God or if you're listening to a political campaign. And I'm talking about across the board here. It's across the board. Then obviously we've got the trending story of the driver, of the InDrive driver, who was robbed of the Toyota Aqua. So he picked up people and then they robbed him of the car. Not only that, he also had the same phone with the tracker in the car. So they can't find the car because the tracker was also on that phone, which was stolen. Right, I think we're on 27 minutes. Let's look at the comments and then I'm out of here. I'm going to run. If you look at me, you see that I've dramatically changed in the past month. That is because I've started running again. That is every morning. I run for about 20 minutes, not really long. I don't like running. Running is the worst thing that you can do for yourself because it destroys your muscle. So I am running because I gained a bit of weight when I was not having my personal trainer. So I started running and I can actually see the change. Running changes me very much, a lot. So let's look at other things. Right. What happened to the body of Dr. Edgar Lungu? Guys, what happened is crazy. So last week, around the 15th, a private detective went to the funeral parlor. And on arrival, he wanted to see the body so that they can conduct a post-mortem. And he told the funeral parlor that they wanted to perform a post-mortem because they had heard that, or there was suspicion that Lungu was poisoned. And then as he was still at the parlor phoned the family of Lungu. There was a big fight. And then obviously the discussions that were taking place between the government of Zambia and the Lungu family have stalled. This case cannot be solved outside of negotiations. So the body is still stuck at the funeral parlor. I think it's called Iron Mountain. And the negotiations have stalled. So now it has to go back to court. Do you have a Secretary General for M31? Yes. M31 is not a political party. It's a coalition. However, on Friday, we're going to advise you of the next move. As you are aware, Mnangagwa has declared that he's going to go to 2030. So we need a concerted effort, a combined effort to stop him. Fighting Mnangagwa's third term is a generational duty. So there's going to be changes that we need to make. But on Friday, we're going to make an announcement on how we're going to proceed. Gambako 2028 is the presidential campaign, which is going to go on. Mnangagwa is not going to go to 2030. And currently, there's no opposition party. So CCC has collapsed. As you know, Sengezo yourself, you are aware that CCC has collapsed. CCC is not contesting elections. And as things stand right now, we need to form a grand coalition. And M31 is going to be that coalition. So we'll let you know on Friday our next steps, what we're going to do, and then Gambako 2028, the only campaign with a proper manifesto, and particularly devolution. I love devolution because we want our country to do well. At the moment, everything is centralized. So what we're going to do, we're going to change the country. The legal framework is already present, where each region must take care of its own resources and develop at its own pace. So we want to create a country where, for example, if you're in Masvingo, you have your own structures, your own budget, and you've got everything being done in Masvingo. That is managing your education, managing your tourism. So we want to build a country with 160 new towns. And there's no one who's going to build this plan. No one has got this plan. And we're going to have a lot of people, a lot of positions, but not in Harare. So the government is going to be very small. Only 8 ministries are going to be there. And I've said them to you in the past: Minister of Defense, Minister of Home Affairs, Minister of Finance. Probably we're going to have a Minister of Education. We're going to combine all the ministries of education. And we're going to have 2 or so more ministries. And then the presidency is going to be a ministry which is containing many departments. But the biggest ministry is going to be the Ministry of Tourism Infrastructure. And we're going to have a high-speed rail. That is going to be the foundation of everything we do. A North Corridor and the South Corridor, which is going to connect Victoria Falls to Bedbridge to Mutare, and then, so that's the South Corridor. And then a North Corridor from Victoria Falls through to Chirundu, all the way up to Lusaka and Beira. So that is our North Corridor. And we're going to do very, very well. Zimbabwe is going to be a first world country within a short space of time. There's no person who can come up with this manifesto. Military, we've said a lot about the military guys. And I can give you a hint. Within the next week or 2, we're going to announce our next move, which will make sure that I am on the ground. But the most important thing is we need funding. So Zimbabwean opposition parties are not funded. And you can't beat someone with a billion when you don't even have a million. So we need to get funding. And I would like to appeal to all the guys who are millionaires and billionaires in Zimbabwe to assist us so that we can challenge ZANU-PF and so that we can have a parliament where the opposition has got 75% of the seats. I'm talking here about parliament and also Senate. We need political power. Without political power, you can't do anything. And Mnangagwa has destroyed our country. What he's trying to do with the 3rd term is unconstitutional, and it's a constitutional duty to oppose him. It's not illegal to oppose unconstitutional behavior. So do not be terrified or do not be scared of opposing the 2030 bid. It will never happen. Mnangagwa will never go to 2030. It will never happen. We're going to make sure that it doesn't happen. We're going to oppose it, and we'll oppose it until everyone stops him. Mnangagwa must be stopped. He cannot go to 2030. Okay, no doubt about it. And we're going to make this message clear. We should all unite against 2030. Right, I want to just check if Mdarageze has spoken. Let me just go before I go here. That is the last thing I'm going to do. So the problem with Chiwenga right now. So let me tell you what the problem with Chiwenga is. Chiwenga has got no social media. He's got no team. So he needs to change. Chiwenga cannot continue the way he's doing now if he wants to be a strong contender in what is happening. So even Darageza has got a Twitter. So Chiwenga doesn't have a Twitter. He doesn't have a social media. He doesn't have an office. You can't be a president without those. You need a social media presence because you need to be known nationally. We need to know what you are saying. And at the moment, he's using the infrastructure of ZANU-PF. He needs to do better. Even people like Opam Chinguri are on Twitter. So I'm not advising another person what to do, but he must think very carefully about his approach, because the moment he's getting beaten left, right, and center. Tagwirei is using a bunch of different platforms. Other people, even Mnangagwa has got a Twitter. So he needs to, if he's going to be a president, he needs to do better. And funny enough, let's see Zimbabwe president here, president of Zimbabwe. What did Mnangagwa say? Mnangagwa tweets very often. Let's see what he's saying here. That is on the 18th. He did the 18th. So Mnangagwa tweets everything that he does. Well, not all the time, but he does. So if Chiwenga is going to be a serious contender, he must have a presence on social media. If you look at people like Wikino, say Wikino Chivai is over here. And he was last here. What day was Chivai here? I'm seeing one on the 18th about Scotland. So people have got a way of communicating, and Chiwenga currently doesn't have a way of communicating, except once in a while when Mini does tweet about him. So what we want to do, obviously, now that Mnangagwa is going, we want a political system where people can deliver value. At the moment, there's no value being delivered. We've got people with no ideas just because they are next in line. So, for example, if you look at Mnangagwa, Mnangagwa was not supposed to be president. There were many, many more people in ZANU-PF who were more qualified than Mnangagwa. Look how he's destroyed our country. Now you look at Tagwirei. Tagwirei thinks he can become a president. He's got no manifesto at all. What is Tagwirei's manifesto? We're going to have another 10 years of what Mnangagwa is doing, which is crazy. Won't allow it. Last time you said Chiwenga will be arrested at the conference, but he didn't get arrested. Can you please, can you explain this? We do projections. So let me tell you how we analyze things. We analyze things through possibilities. So remember, leading up to the conference, we gave a number of scenarios, including 2030, including what is going to happen to Chiwenga. That is what happens. You analyze things and you reach a conclusion. Go to anyone, go to Oppo now. He has made projections about what's going to happen, who's going to be appointed, and all that. That is what we do. We give you information. So when I give you information, I want you to understand what's going on. I'm not giving you information like from the Bible. I'm not the Bible. So when you listen to me, go and listen to Rumbi, go and listen to Hopo, go and listen to other people. That we are shaping what is happening already. Do you know that when I talk something here, it also affects what happens? There are people watching here that you cannot believe. They are also working out on their strategies. But one thing I can tell you is that no one supports Mnangagwa going to 2030. And no one likes it. It's terrible. All right, guys, I think I've covered everything here that I wanted to cover. And then I forgot one business story that I wanted to tell you. So there's a big company here called Sanlam. One of the biggest companies in South Africa is Sanlam. In fact, I believe that is the biggest company. So Sanlam, like I said, most of these companies are consolidating. So Sanlam and Time Bank, which is Motsepe's company, are going to be creating an app together. So if you are in South Africa, you'll be able to see what is going to happen within a short space of time. There's a new app called GoTime, which will consolidate all the group capabilities of Sanlam. And they're going to be doing it within a short space of time. Sanlam is going to do banking. There's a big, big push to go into banking here in South Africa by many, many companies. So I thought Time Bank was also working with Pick and Pay, but they're going to be doing some work with the Sanlam. So go check that out in the newspapers of today. I think we've covered everything, but obviously what is interesting is what Tagwirei is doing. Tagwirei leaving Mutare, and going straight to Nyazura. Nyazura is over here. Between Harare and Mutare, they spent a bit of time there, and he did some prayers. He walked around. He's trying to build his capacity and capability. I can assure you, none of these guys are going to win elections against me. It's not possible. They are going to lose very badly. They've got no manifesto. Our country will look the same. And look at Zimbabwe 2028. And no one has got a manifesto like this. This is the most amazing manifesto you've ever seen. And everyone is going to do well. They are going to have so much money. And especially the love for devolution. I love devolution. And you guys should love it also. When you go to Gutu, it's going to look like this. We want to make sure that all our provinces have got at least 16 towns. So we're going to take the growth points. We're going to take all those places that you know, Beshana Bridge, Chipinge. We're going to take all these places that you know. You know that there's no town center at Kariba. Did you guys know that there's no town center at Kariba? Like there's no way where you can say this is the town. We're going to make it a town. And we're going to make Chirundu one of the biggest towns and connect it with the rail. We're going to make Benga a huge city with the military intelligence, having places there. We're going to go to the islands. The islands, you know that the islands in Zimbabwe, we're going to go over there and create one of the biggest island towns where you can actually go and be doing a lot of stuff over there. It's going to be amazing. Tourism is going to be so big. And all that we need right now is to work on our funding. We need to make sure that the opposition is funded. I am pushing very hard for that to happen so that we have an opposition that is funded, that is structured, that is a force and a government in waiting. That is what we want. And I'm so happy with the guys we're working with. We're doing very, very well. And as I said, ZANU-PF cannot beat us. They will lose very badly in every corner of the country. And you're going to see, within a short space of time, I'll show you what we're going to do. Then let's go to our sponsor, Mve. I would like to thank all the guys who have supported and who have bought this week. As you are aware, we need to raise money so that I can move around. So one of the things that we do is we put a sponsorship with Mve, buy the packet so that you can support us. That is Harare, Bulawayo. You get a packet immediately delivered to you, or you can pick up United Kingdom, Scotland, Ireland, those places you can go and pick up, or we can give you DHL. And then obviously United States will stop because of the tariffs. The tariffs so high. So support us and buy a packet over here. And then I'm going to make an announcement about a new packet. Starting next week, we're going to be moving to a different packet, not the usual 200 grams that you are aware of, as our supplier is no longer making the 200 grams. Don't buy fake Mve. Don't buy Mve that is open. Mve is very powerful. When it's being made, it must be made under factory conditions. And I personally inspect the factories myself. And they're ISO certified. Don't buy on the street. You don't know what is in there. So buy from Zimbabwe. That is the only place where you get the right thing. Okay, I would like to thank all of you for watching. It's been amazing. This week has been one of our busiest weeks. And I'll see you again around midday as we give you other updates. And from starting tonight, we're going to go back to Zimbabwe 2028. Mnangagwa will never go to 2030. It's our generational duty to stop him. And I don't know why Mnangagwa is allowed himself to be in this position where he's going to 2030 or is allowed that resolution to be passed. He's going to lose. And we're going to make sure that it does not go there. It does not go to 2030. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you again a little bit later. And a good day to you all.